Okay.
All right, we're live. So thank you so much for joining me. Why don't you introduce? I'm Mercedes. You guys know me, but why don't you introduce yourself,
My name
Mike?
is Mike Higbee, aka Deadly Habit. I'm a music producer and an amateur game designer. So yeah, I was in the chat room during Mercedes rant, which was great, I must say. And yeah, I post on 4chan. I do shit like that, and yeah. So if anyone has any questions, whatever.
Well,
But
I appreciate you coming on because we were chatting earlier, and for those of you who didn't see my rant, you could go to my YouTube channel. It's there. But basically, I'm just really pissed off with the way veterans are being treated, and I keep seeing examples of it around me in the world. So Mike has been kind enough to come on and explain and talk about his experiences as a vet, and I'm seeing more
yeah.
people too pop up on Twitter and like pop up. So I want to know more about this too because where I see what I see from where I'm standing, but I've never lived the experience of it. So I'm just gonna let you just talk and
Yeah. Oh, okay. So
educate us.
I was in the initial Iraq push, post 9/11. I had a scholarship to MIT in Hobart. I had a
Mm.
scholarship to MIT for computer science, and I had a scholarship to Hobart for lacrosse. And I was like, I'm gonna take a year off. So I'm living with my girlfriend, and my cat's meowing in the background. um, So I had these scholarships and everything. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna take a year off. So I'm at home one day, turn on my TV, and the first plane hit the Twin Towers.
Mm.
And it's like, okay, my girlfriend lived about 2 or 3 blocks from me. God damn it, cat. Okay, sorry, my cat's jumping on the back of my chair.
Cat wants to be involved.
He wants to be a cat. So I see this first thing, like the first plane hit the Twin Towers, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go see my girlfriend because at the time she was my fiance and everything. And it's like, all right, let's go over there. And I'm like fucking 18, 19 at the time. And it's just like so in love with the concept of marriage and love and everything like that. So I end up over at her house, and the second plane hits.
Mm.
And I'm sitting there talking to her family. They're like, it's like, we know you're patriotic and everything. Don't do anything stupid. So within a week, I'm at the Army recruiter.
Oh.
So it's like, what can I do? So I scored pretty much like a 98 on the ASVABs, which is I pretty much had a choice of job or whatever. And I'm like, I'm 18 at the time, so I'm like, all right, it's my life, whatever. Can I do computer hacking, whatever? They didn't have anything like that at the time, so they just offered me this job, whatever, which is ended up being communications. And I pretty much ended up being a glorified telephone operator. But ended up joining one in an E3, which is PFC for anyone who's never been in the military. Went in that rank, lost that rank real quick because I was smoking weed.
Mm.
My first roommate actually was getting kicked out for drugs. He was from Staten Island. Unfortunately, he's dead now from a gang-related shooting.
Oh God.
Um, but yeah, like my initial military experience was I went through basic. We learned how to scam the fuck out of our drill sergeants and stuff like that. Like most people think of basic training is one of the hardest things. You're like Full Metal Jacket or something like that.
Mhm.
So we had guys that would fake being sick and go and get like tins of dip, like chewing tobacco,
Okay.
and sell them for like $40. And the same person would go and get like a CD player. So finally, our drill sergeant found our little hidey hole and stuff. Comes back a week later. The same guy has everything back up there. So I'm given the full military experience. This is the funny part. So like we go through that. We go on leave on Christmas, which was probably one of the stupidest things ever. It's like go through like about 8-9 weeks of basic training. I went to Fort Benning. I was the first non-infantry and the last all men class. So basically, we were trained as infantry soldiers. So we go on leave, whatever, wear our dress greens, look great, come back, finish it up, and then we go to our duty stations.
Mm-hmm.
So, what I did in between, with the week I had in between, there was a festival up in Canada called WEMF, which is World Electronic Music Festival. And I spent about 3 days getting fucked up on drugs and just electronic music. So I end up down at Fort Hood, which is pretty much I don't know if anyone's heard of Killeen, Texas. Um, what it actually is, it's Central Texas, and sadly, what it actually stands for, if you go back in history, is kill. Ah, God, what is it? It's kill each and every nigger, or something like that.
Wow.
Like, and that's the acronym of the town, but that's where Fort Hood is, which is the biggest military base in the USA. So I ended up there. I was there for about 2-3 weeks, and next thing I know, we're getting deployed to Iraq. It was when I joined, the Afghanistan war was going on, and I was expecting to go there.
Wow.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening.
Yeah, I lost picture. Yeah, so pretty much I was expecting to go to Afghanistan or something like that, but our unit ended up getting deployed to Afghanistan, or not Afghanistan, Iraq.
Okay.
So it was the initial push, and yeah, that fucking sucked. We were there with Australians, British SAS, loads of British troops, which were probably some of the greatest guys I've ever met. But yeah, we pretty much when we first went in, we were going inside like one side of the base. Like one of the most known bases is Al Assad. That's the first one we took. We were going in the front side. The Australians are attacking it, and the Iraqis are pushing back. And as we pushed in, they're going out the back and leaving everything behind, and we're just going in. And like they're leaving the back as we're going in.
Wow.
And so like a lot of that stuff went on. It was screwed up. Like initially going into the country because Turkey wouldn't let us go in, so we went in through Kuwait. And Kuwait was my first experience of the Middle East. So we're coming in our military Humvees and all that, and we're sitting there riding along roads alongside like silver plated like Supras and stuff like that.
Silver plated Supras?
Yeah, like you remember the Supra? That's probably one of my favorite cars.
Yeah.
So like we're sitting there like these oil barons have enough money that they silver plate their cars and shit like that.
Holy shit! Wow.
And we're going through like skyscrapers, blah blah blah, all this shit, and we're going past like we're sitting there in these shitty fucking Humvees with like cloth doors and stuff, and just going past like these cars that are silver and like gold plated. Like what the fuck?
Wow.
And then we pull off and go off into the desert. So that was my first experience in the Middle East. It's like wow, they have this much money that they're doing this shit. And it's just like it's just kind of like why the hell are we over here fighting a war?
Right, right, right. Because it's, somebody from the outside. I mean, my father was veteran. Um, he was part of the veteran of foreign
Yeah.
wars, and so was my grandfather. And so, it's always I grew up here listening to Phil Oakes, which if anybody remembers the '60s, they might remember Phil Oakes. And
Oh,
there was a
I
song.
definitely I've got their records.
Yeah, yeah, Phil Oakes. He was an amazing singer songwriter. He was singing about the draft at that time, and one of the lyrics, I'll probably butcher it, but it's always the old to lead us to war. It's always the young to fall. It's the nature of it is that people human beings are fighting over goods, over
Yeah, and
things.
and one of the things that kind of screwed me up, it was like we had the initial Gulf War and everything. I thought everything was over with
Hmm.
during that, but Saddam was still in power and everything. And I know I'm probably going to get some conflicting opinions about this, but Saddam dying was probably one of the best things that came out of that war.
Mm.
And I was on the border when we were looking for him, and it was actually someone from Fort Hood that found him. It was someone from Fourth ID, I think, that found his spider hole. We were
Oh
sitting
wow.
we were sitting on the Syrian border looking for him for ages. And the day after we pulled out, the screwed up part. See, I worked communications, so we have these mobile shelters that just kind of roll in, and we set up within about an hour and have like satellites and everything going back. The day after we pulled out, they RPG'd exactly where we were.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's
Oh my god.
communications are probably one of the most vital things, and a lot of people don't realize that.
So how long were you in Iraq for?
I was in Iraq for about a year. Thankfully, I didn't go for the second term because initially, when I was in, like I said, I was smoking weed and doing drugs and stuff with my friend, and I was supposed to be kicked out before the deployment, but they pulled my papers because I was one of the highest rated in my field.
Okay. Okay.
So pretty much it was like it's like, oh, this guy's going out, going to raves, he's smoking weed, he's doing all this stuff. Let's kick him out. And it's like, all right, yeah, fuck it. I'm 18 at the time, like whatever.
Wow.
And like they put me in that kind of situation, and it's just like, all right, whatever. Next thing I know, we get deployment orders like, oh wait, he was the top rated of his class. He's probably the best at his job. You're coming to Iraq. so So I ended up over there. I ended up bouncing between two or three different bases because I got in a fight with my first sergeant at the first base,
Hmm.
and yeah, I went from Al Assad to Aramadi, which is one of Saddam's palaces that was right outside of the Green Zone, if you know what that is. Like
No, go ahead and explain that.
like Fallujah.
Okay.
I'm sure you heard of that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
Fallujah, Ramadi, and everything like that. That's the palaces that Saddam's sons used to control.
Hmm.
So like the Green Zone was when we took that over. So like I saw a bunch of fucked up shit over there. Like at Ramadi, it was funny. Like someone got caught stealing and they cut off their fucking hands.
Wow.
Like and we condoned it. It's like this is their culture. Whatever.
Huh.
It's like okay, we have a presence here. We're not trying to like be incursion into your culture or anything, but it's like the mayor of the town actually like dragged this person out and like cut off their fucking hands.
Holy shit.
like you stole this. This is your consequence, and just like a quick chop, and it's just like, holy shit. And we're just kind of sitting there like, what the fuck? This is this, like it's funny because most of the guys were Christian and shit.
Mhm.
At the time, I was like vehement like atheist,
Mhm.
and like now I'm a Buddhist and shit. It's fucked up how you kind of find religion through like meditation and stuff like that. But like I saw that and I'm just like wow, this is what their book says. So like the whole time I was over there, I think I read the Quran, I read the Bible, I read the Torah, I read the Satanic Bible. Like I read every little religious text I could find. And I'm sitting there like trying to find a reason why people could be so cruel against each other.
Right, right. So you're telling me about all this horrible stuff. Like, what was the general feeling? I mean, here you're 18 years old. You're an American boy, like for all intents and purposes, we could say it that way. Like you're very
Yeah.
you're just kind of like standard American boy over there with
Yeah, kind of like innocent to the rest of the world. Like I'd been to Macedonia before that when they had the war and everything.
Mhm.
That was just like partying though.
Right. So this is like your first experience. So as in terms of like, I don't know, I guess they call it, is it in your unit? Everyone's like, whoever's in your group, right? Um, I mean, were most of the soldiers you're with, were they like you? Were they different? What was everyone's take on being in this culture that handled things so differently?
I had a few friends that were like me, but most of them weren't. Like I linked you on Twitter earlier that my sergeant friend who he was in a different part when we deployed, and yeah, he ended up killing himself when he came back instead of getting redeployed.
Jesus.
That's one of those like one of those things that fucking haunts me. Is like this is a guy that used to come and just chill out with me and just hang out, just mentor me and all this stuff, and he saw so much shit during our first deployment that he ended up killing himself rather than going back, even though he had a new baby and all this shit. And it
Oh
was
my
just like,
God.
and like he was on meds and all this stuff, and it's just like he didn't have the help he needed.
God damn it. And these are the kind of stories, like this is what fucking hurts to hear these stories. People go about their daily lives. I mean, I can't imagine being in a space where literally you'd rather die than live
Like
with a small baby on top of it.
the whole mentality when I was over there was, okay, I'm gonna die at some point. I better make it good and just do my job. I was expecting to die the whole time I was over there, pretty much. Like I'm sitting there writing to like my girlfriend at the time, my parents and stuff, I might not be back.
Wow.
Like I was just waiting, I thought I was living on borrowed time, honestly. And
God.
just sitting there is just like a war zone is fucking hell. I'm sorry. Like that's the best way to put it. Like that's the reason why I have PTSD. The reason that I'm actually paid for PTSD and shit. Um, you let me go take a piss real quick, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah. Yeah, no, take as long as you need.
All right. Yeah, it's I linked to you that article if you want to link it to the other people. Sergeant Green was he was a close friend of mine. Like
Wow.
if you go into Google and you search Sergeant Green, Greene suicide, it's like about like a 10-page article. The shit that went on.
God.
All right, I'll be
Yeah.
right back.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll turn on my video to talk to you guys. Um, so for those of you who are just joining us, let me put my video back on. You guys do need to see me, but I'll show you. so you can see me. For those of you who are just joining, Mike and I are talking about his times in the military. And he just talked about his friend, Sergeant Green, who would rather, I mean, this is why we're doing this. This is why I did the rant earlier. This is why Mike and I are talking. I know that there are a lot of amazing people doing a lot of amazing work with soldiers, right now. And I'm just an outsider, but I can't help but think that a lot of people are noticing some of the stuff that, I've been seeing around me. I just found the link to Sergeant Green's suicide. And, people have asked me why, like, I support the MRA in that world. Men are something like 8 to 10 times more likely to suicide themselves. I don't know what the stats are with soldiers. There are a lot of female veterans with PTSD who are struggling too. So this isn't just a male issue, but it's, they send a lot of men to war. So this is something that, we need to look at. I'm going to put that link right there.
Yeah, I'm back, Mercedes.
Perfect. Okay. Go ahead. I just found that article. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the chat.
Yeah, it's if people have triggers or anything like that, yeah, probably not a good idea to read it.
Is it the Tampa Bay Times article?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They reposted it from what happened. It's like about 10 pages or so, but
okay.
Yeah, but basically what happened to me was went from Ramadi to Al Qaim, which is right on the Syrian border. And I think the only press that we ever had out there, funnily enough, was Maxim, like a freelance French reporter for AP, who called it Iraq's Wild West. So this was I was supporting third ACR, which was the guys looking for Saddam. And if you guys ever saw the WikiLeaks Apache videos, pretty much that. I've got like a couple DVDs of that probably WikiLeaks would love.
God, that's scary.
It initially what happened after we pulled out, it was funny. The Marines took over. We had this place that we called RPG Alley. And it pretty much was RPGs and AK fire and stuff like that. Marines took over and they ran PT like it was the States or something like that. And within the first week, they had 10 people killed.
Wow. Jesus.
Yeah, but if you guys look up the place, it's called FOB Tiger. That's where I was at. We kind of did our own little thing. There were some atrocities going on there and stuff. That was where we captured a lot of high-ranking generals and stuff like that. And some of them, yeah, guess what, disappeared because we didn't like what they said.
Jesus.
Yeah, when it comes to war crimes, pretty much, I hate to say it, but we pretty much did them all. It was a case of, it's like this guy's a supporter of Saddam and all this stuff, and we've been trying to interrogate him. Guess what? You're disappearing.
Oh my God. Ugh.
Well, you remember back when it was going on, like that little deck of cards they had.
Oh yeah, I do actually.
Yeah, so we're kind of going through that, and we're sitting there looking at pictures, like someone sent it to us from the States and stuff, and we're sitting there in like the connexes. Okay, so this is what went on for like psyops. We'd put them in the back of a Connex, and we sit there and we play like Nickelback, Metallica, and stuff, just bouncing off the Connex like 24 hours a day, and just keep them awake playing this like shitty metal. Then it's like all of a sudden we got these cards and stuff, and it's like started to match up like some of the cards, and it's like, wait, aren't you one of his top advisors? No, I will not talk. It's like, oh, okay, that's one of the psyops guys went to work, and that's when they started to disappear.
Wow.
It was just like, it's like, we know you're a horrible person. You did all this. If you won't tell us anything, fuck it, we're gonna kill you.
So how old were you when this was happening? Like 19?
Yeah, I actually I turned 21 over there. Actually, yeah, let me think. I was there a year. I was in the army. I joined at 18. We went over there. Yeah, I turned 21 in Iraq, which was kind of fucked up. Yeah, I was 18 when I joined in 2001. 19 2000. Yeah, I turned 19 in 2001. 2002 we started to get the orders. 2003 I was still 20, and I turned 21 in Iraq.
God. So I mean, this was defining. I mean, you think about, for people who don't go to war from 18 to 21, and there's like a real thing in American culture where it's like, oh, well, everyone's off partying at college or drinking out of red cups and,
Yeah,
dating and like,
like the army was my partying time for me, and it was just like, it's like before I went over there, God knows I was partying. Like
right.
we had cases of like 40s of Mickey's and stuff in our room, and just ordering Domino's pizza and stuff, like just like a college student. But once he actually went to war, it was just kind of like, all right, I might die today. Fuck it.
Wow.
It's like, all right, I can talk to my parents. Like the cool thing about being communications was I could call my parents anytime I wanted to. It's just like I'd call them from Iraq, and it's like I'm calling it like, God, like say 6 p.m. their time, and it's like 1 a.m. their time. It's just like, I'm alive, I'm okay. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later.
That's, I think it's the gravity of that a lot of people don't realize. For people who haven't experienced it, including me, I mean, yeah, so some of my family was in the military, but it's not like right now, wartime right now, being in the military. And this this fact that your youth was overshadowed with this kind of impending doom. I mean, when you're young,
It was kind of a fact. I signed up for it, and I expected it to happen, but it never happened. Like, it'd be funny. Like one day we'd be sitting there playing like dominoes outside our shelter and stuff, and then it's like, we need volunteers to go on a raid. And I'd be like, all right, cool, I'm up for it. And it's, you don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. Like the reason I have PTSD is because of one of those raids I went on.
wow.
Because I was a 249 gunner, and we actually had an IED go off in the town when we were trying to raid it, and I just started laying suppressing fire with my 249, which don't know don't know if you know what that is. It's a machine gun.
Hmm.
So I started laying down suppressing fire and stuff. Before we know it, everything's clear. We rescued people. One of the guys lost a leg. The other guy lost an arm.
Fuck.
And yeah, it was fucked up. I was hit by something in my leg, but it didn't make a difference to me. It was just like, I'm laying suppressing fire, but after all the smoke cleared and everything like that, there's 3 dead children and 2 dead women,
God.
and it's like, are those my bullets or whatever? And that's one of the things that kind of fucking haunts me to this day. It's like, did I actually kill them? I took the blame for it because
Wow.
I was laying down suppressing fire and stuff like that. But did I actually do it? And it's just kind of one of those things. It's like you try to go to sleep at night, and it's like I might have killed someone who was innocent.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is where, I mean, fuck, it's all so terrible. It's all, and you're surrounded by this every single day. So it's easy to, it's easy for people on the outside of a war zone to have like moralistic judgments about it. And,
Yeah,
and I hear that a lot. Like, look, I'm not a pro-war person. I'm a
neither am
pro-peace.
I hate war.
Of course
Like
you do, because you were
after
there.
being through it, Jesus Christ, I hate war. I want to see our country rebuilt, and I don't know. Like half the time when I see my disability check and stuff come in, like it took me 3 fucking years and 3 refilings to get my disability. Like after going through therapy for all these years and stuff like that, and after a suicide attempt, drug abuse, loads of shit like that, like it finally went through, and when I got it, I'm like, I don't feel like I deserve this because there's still people over there. And it's like my stupid cousin actually joined after I told him not to. And he joined the Marines and went infantry. He's sitting there showing me videos and shit, like the same shit that I went through. And it's like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's just kind of like you have that moment where you're just like, what the fuck are we doing? It's like these are people. Maybe it's an eclipse I've had later in life and stuff like that. Like now, like with religion and stuff like that. Just like everyone should get along. Like if we have differences, we can talk it out, but we don't need to pick up guns.
Right. Well, I mean, so much of it goes back to all those, old anti-war songs, which is, I think
And
this
I
is where
love those.
a lot of Americans are very disillusioned right now, including myself, because people used to feel like they were fighting for or going to fight for something with principle, with honor. And I think a lot of people now, and especially the soldiers, it's fascinating to me that so many of the anti-war people want to throw the soldiers under the bus. But to me, like, I don't like the government and I don't like why they send people to war,
It's the same
but I
thing
like
with
the
me.
soldiers,
Yeah, it's people like when I signed that contract, I knew what I was going into, but I also at the same time didn't because I was like so young. And it's like you sign a contract for about like 4 or 5 years of your life, then you're hooked to it, and you want to have the honor to obligate it. And it's just like people don't understand that. It's just like it's like, oh, okay, you sign up for a college class or whatever. You're gonna go through it, right?
right,
But if you sign up for the military or something like that, you're hooked in, and no matter if you dislike it or like it, you're into it. It's like being kind of imprisoned,
hmm.
and they try to mold you and everything. That's where I used to get in trouble. I used to be one of those guys that had his own independent opinion. So I'd always be in the front leaning rest, which is the push up position. So it'd be like, Higbee, you did this. Yep, Sergeant. All right, keep pushing. Then it's just like, all right, you tired of pushing? No, I'm not, Sergeant. Well, goddamn it, I'm tired of seeing you do it. Just go back to your room.
Wow.
It's like I'd have. I'm trying to think the way to put it. I was told when I was younger I was too smart for my own fucking good, which is probably a good way to put it. Just like I'd see their strategies and all this stuff, and I'd be like, that seems a little bit wrong. And then it's just like, shut the fuck up. And I made it. The funny part was I made it to a sergeant. Then I came out a buck private.
Wow.
Yeah, so if I had stayed in, I probably could have made it to command sergeant or God, I don't know. Like what's screwed up is I'm adopted and stuff like that, and I found out that my actual father was a 3-star general.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was screwed up finding that out. Like it's like, can I talk to him? Nope, he's dead.
Oh, that's some irony right there. But I mean, you're talking. It's like this is why. Like I'm hearing your story, and what I hear is just a person, just a person, just a guy. Like you're a guy that I could have,
Yeah,
like we could have gone to school together, and you're just a person, and we're the same age, and you went off to war, and these experiences there affected you in so many ways, in ways that people can't even imagine. And I know you said that
yeah.
when you
It's
got back, I want you to talk a little bit
all right.
on the
When I got
fallout.
back, all right. So I got back around December 2004.
Uh-huh.
So I went from here's the funny part. I went from Texas wearing shorts and like wife beaters to Rochester, New York, where I grew up and live now and still do, where I grew up. So I go from wearing shorts and wife beaters to taking a plane. Next thing I know, there's like about 4 or 5 feet of snow. So I get off the plane, whatever, do that, have the reuniting with my parents and my dog at the time, and everything was good at the time. So the next month, um, I'd been making music and DJing for a while, so I DJed a few clubs and stuff like that, and it was I got paid drinks. So next thing I know, I've got 2 DUIs within a month.
Oh shit.
So I end up getting that knocked down to one, whatever. Then I spend about I want to say God, like the next 3 years, just like working shitty jobs like retail, like managing like Burger King and all that shit. Between that and just hanging out in my room and the internet,
Hmm.
just like hanging out in the dark. And that's when I got hooked on heroin and oxy.
Got it.
So I was taking shit so I wouldn't feel anything. It wasn't so I'd get high. It was just like I don't want to feel shit. And it went on for fucking years. Then I finally got to a point I tried to kill myself. Then I realized that like it's like God, my parents are still alive. What are you doing, cat? Sorry, my cat's fucking meowing in the background.
Mhm.
So like I was sitting there, I'm popping Xanax. I think I took like God, I want to say like 30 Xanax, took a shot of heroin and snorted like 4 or 5 oxys and downed like a fifth of rum. And it's like, I just want to die. It's like, I don't want to feel anything anymore. And I ended up waking up in a hospital, which was not fun. Them pumping my stomach and everything, giving me charcoal. Then I woke up in a psych ward and my local city hospital. They said, "Wait, you're a vet. Do you want the VA to take care of you?" It's, and even with how fucked up I was at the time, I'm like, the VA has always taken great care of me. So I'm like, yeah. Next thing I know, I'm on like a 200-mile hot like ambulance ride, to someplace. I have no clue. I was like passed out half during it. Day later, I wake up. Don't have shit. I have a pair of socks, my boxer shorts, and that's it. And I'm 2 cities away from my place on a locked board in like the insane asylum type unit. And I learned a lot there.
So how long did they? So they transferred you to the VA, and then how long were you there for?
I was there. I was in. After I tried to kill myself, I was there for about 3 weeks.
Okay. What year was this? How long ago was this?
This was, let's see, this is 2000. I want to say 2006.
Okay. Shit.
Yeah, it was screwed up. Like I won a few years doing everything I should have been doing, just going through the actions.
Hmm.
Like that's one of the things people don't realize is vets can go through the fucking actions. Like we can be miserable, depressed, whatever, and we'll go through the actions, get a job, do whatever, and still fucking abuse drugs, abuse alcohol, whatever, and we're still fully functional to society. That's the screwed up part.
Right. Well, I mean, this goes back to the I mean, from what I can deduce on this is that, for the most part, if you're a soldier, you're trained to go through tough scenarios. So it
Yeah,
seems like for someone like me from the outside, it seems like when a lot of these soldiers come back, and I had some friends who I need to call up actually, who do a lot of work with Marines who have PTSD. Um, they're still able to um,
well,
function. But
yeah,
the problem is that the warning signs aren't there. Like usually civilians exhibit certain warning signs, and it
yeah,
seems
yeah.
like soldiers don't necessarily do that.
With soldiers, we internalize a lot of stuff. So like you'll see us being like smiley, happy faced. Like I worked so many damn sales jobs, and sales takes like smiley face, being the best person, whatever, and just selling people. And I worked those for fucking years. I did the first job I got when I got back was door to door sales, and I was the top salesman.
Hmm.
It's just like I'd go from work like after selling like thousands of dollars of stuff, and this is like cash in your pocket type money. So it's like I'd leave the place like with 2 grand in my pocket, go buy a shitload of heroin and whatever drugs, and like come back the next day like, all right, I'm ready to go back out. Like after getting fucked up the whole night or getting fucked up on the job.
So was drug use like rampant in the military while you were in, or was that like, you're talking about heroin, and most of the people I know who've gone down that path, I don't know a whole lot who've gone down that path, but the ones that I
Which
have
is
have,
thankful.
yeah, but the ones that I have, I mean, it's been more than
In
a
the military,
challenge.
it was more cocaine.
Okay,
It was more like, we've been up all night drinking, blah blah blah. Snort this, or
got it.
we've got this test, PT, whatever, and snort some coke, whatever. Do this test, do the best you can, score the best, and then go back and snort some more coke.
Got it. Interesting, because I know, I forget what it is. Somebody was telling me in the Air Force they give pilots the equivalent of, it's kind of like a higher version of an Adderall, kind of like an
Yeah, yeah,
amphetamine, to keep people focused or what have you. But
yeah.
okay,
It was
so
screwed. It was screwed up. Like one of the only friends that I still have that's still alive and stuff. He's a lot better now, but he was the first one that he lived in Cali, where you live. He came back with meth, gave it to me the first time. I took it, and I'm just like, okay, this is not for me.
Interesting.
Like it was screwed up. Like people would go on leave and stuff and come back with like new drugs and stuff like that.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Just curious. Just curious how that went.
Yeah, if you have any questions, just let me know.
Yeah, well, it's because for me, I mean, there's also time frame because you're looking at like, if you're 32 now, I mean, a lot of the stuff it sounds like it was happening like 5, 6 years ago.
Yeah, it was when the initial push went on, and God, the medics used to get ecstasy sent over, fucking coke, whatever you named it, we had it. Like
Sure.
like like you think the U.S. is bad with drugs and stuff like that. Like soldiers deployed, we get stuff sent over is insane. Like it was funny. I'm sitting there drinking on my 21st birthday. I was drinking what was it? German whiskey and Syrian vodka.
Wow.
And the funny part is like the German stuff comes in like Rockstar style cans.
Oh, weird.
So like it's like you get this can and it's like what the hell is this? And it's just full of fucking whiskey. Or no, wait, Germany had the vodka, Syria had the whiskey.
Huh.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it was weird. It's you come up with all sorts of creative shit. Like okay, it's like the Syrian whiskey tastes like shit. We're gonna mix it with the orange Gatorade mix.
Weird. Well, so you guys, I mean, like a lot of this stuff, I mean, from what I'm hearing, it's basically 18 to 21-year-old guys. The difference is that you're in a war zone versus at a
Yeah,
party. I mean, realistically, that's where, like, you know, I mean, I've always stayed,
we we we
I've always seen this whenever I see, because, like, I live in Southern California. There's a lot of soldiers that come
yeah
down here on leave. I'm just seeing what the clubs are just people.
yeah, and God, soldiers in clubs are probably the most predatory that you'll ever see.
Well, a girlfriend of mine used to like the Marines a lot because she was from the Midwest and she liked Marines a lot. So she would go down. There's like a honky tonk bar near Camp Pendleton. They did like line dancing, like country style. And so she used to like to go down there to pick up Marines. And she took me
Yeah,
once. It was not my thing.
it's a two-way street. It's like it was funny. Like I think half the bars that were near us at near Fort Hood, one of them got closed down because of underage drinking, and
Wow.
like the other one, my friend that ended up dying from gang violence, that idiot had a fucking Mac 11 when he lived on Post,
Oh, shit.
and he'd go outside the club, like leave the club and everything, and start shooting off his fucking gun.
Oh,
Like you're
God.
a fucking idiot.
Man, but it sounds like part of it is too people so like if you're not in a war zone every day, there's a certain sensitivity to things like gunfire, right? But
Uh,
if you but
yeah,
if you're in a war zone every day, that shit becomes normal to you.
yeah. I got. It was funny when I was at Ramadi. I actually slept in a tent outside before I joined my other buddies, and I would sit there and sleep through mortar fire and stuff like that, like RPG attacks, mortar fire, whatever. I sit there and sleep through it.
Oh,
Like you get used to it. It's like I was sitting there on guard duty one night. I took sniper fire. It's like a bullet hit like a couple inches above my head, and it's just like, whatever.
oh, Jesus, I
It's
can't even imagine that. So going forward, I mean, the impact on this. There was a drug use, there was a suicide attempt, and then I know
yeah,
you
and
said you ended up homeless for a bit. So why don't you tell me about that?
oh, okay. So after that, I got a few good jobs and stuff, and like I said, sales jobs and stuff like that, like Guitar Center. I'm sure you have those out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like top salesman out there, fucking musician, do my thing, whatever. So I do great for a while. Then I start drinking again. Then I go. I made the mistake of buying a bottle of absinthe from the liquor store next door.
Mhm.
So I drank that all in one night,
Oh
which
my
is
God.
no, that was typical for me at the time. Like it's like I'd buy a bottle of booze, I'd drink the whole thing. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna go to the city, go get some weed, whatever. So I ended up bumping into some guy. Like I'm waiting for my friend to bring me some weed, whatever. He's like, I've got acid. All right, whatever. This is in the middle of winter in Rochester. So I buy this acid, drop it in the snow, can't find it. So next thing I know, I'm like, do you know where I can get some heroin or oxy? All right, yeah, whatever. Let's go. I end up waking up in a fucking crack house.
Jeez.
And yeah, that night was an interesting night. It was funny. Like half the time I'm sitting there, it's like, go get me some more oxy, whatever. So I spent about like $2,000 in a fucking night.
So
Like,
that I mean, and I don't want to cut you off because I want to continue this conversation.
yeah,
I needed to get off at 8:30, but I want to hear 5 minutes more of this about what happened, and if we can start up the conversation again a little
yeah.
later. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fucked up. Like I'm sitting there, it's like, can I get some heroin? Can I get some oxy, whatever? The guy would go out and get it for my money. Then he tried to set me up with like a hooker next to him, or like sitting next to me on the couch and stuff. And I'm just like puts me in a room alone with her and stuff. And I'm just like, no, where's my drugs?
Wow.
It's like this girl's cute. It was funny. It's like I told her, I'm like you're cute, you're a prostitute and everything. It's like I care more about the drugs. Let me get out of here.
Wow.
It was just like an insane night. It was fucked up. Like I spent, I think, yeah, I want to say like close to like $2,000 that night. Then like we go to an ATM to go and we were supposed to score some more drugs and stuff, and my ATM card wouldn't work. It was just like a case of, all right. Then I started to sober up, and I'm like, where the fuck am I? It's like I'm in the really bad part of the city.
Wow.
How the hell am I gonna get home? And it's like I've got work tomorrow. It's like you start sobering up, and it's like I've been fucked up all night, and just
Wow.
like I put myself in this situation, and thankfully the dude was cool enough that he dropped me off like a few blocks away from my home. It was just like one of those situations where it could have gone a lot worse.
So is this kind of the beginning of like the down, like how did you end up homeless from this?
Yeah, that was the beginning of the downward spiral.
Got it. Got it. And how long were you homeless for?
I was homeless for about I want to say 4 months.
Okay. Got it. And so where were you living when you were homeless? Were you on the street? Were you
I was couch crashing part of the time, and the other times I was living underneath the bridge.
wow. Wow. And I'm presuming you were high on heroin or oxy the whole time as well.
I was bouncing between like Xanax, Oxy, whatever I could get my hands on.
Mhm.
Like
Got
I started staying with my folks for a while and stuff like that, and then it came to a point where it was just like you're out of control. You need to go back to detox, and I'm just like, no, I don't. And next thing I know, I'm back out on the streets. It was like, all right, I'm about to kill myself again, and bouncing between couches and stuff like that. I saw the vet like 1-800 suicide hotline, or like the homeless vet hotline. I called it up, and like one of the first things they asked me, they're like, "It's like, do you feel suicidal?" And it's like, who the fuck wouldn't in this like the situation? It's like honestly, you have no hope. You don't feel you don't feel shit.
Yeah.
And it was just like it's like yeah, I kind of do. And they're like, well, okay, can you give an address? Gave them an address and phone number to call back, and within a few weeks, I ended up in a vet sober living house.
Okay.
And since then, yeah, I've gotten my own apartment, lots of shit like that. Most of the stuff I did on my own. It was fucked up because like you'd expect they'd be more involved in your life and stuff like that, but it was just like kind of I realized I hit rock bottom and all that.
Hmm.
And you have all these people like, I'm gonna go to AA, I'm gonna do this, do that, and they're sitting around watching TV and shit all day, and I'm sitting there like watching all these people like, fuck, it's like you got guys from the Vietnam era and stuff, and it's like I do not want to be this guy. It's like, all right, I'm gonna finally use my college benefits and all this. So I go to this local place called the Veteran Outreach Center,
Hmm.
which I linked you.
Hmm.
And it was funny. I go in the guy's office. The place smells like fucking weed. And I'm just sitting there. It's like, do you think I can get into college this semester? No, no, I don't. So the next day, I take the bus out to the college, and I got signed right up. And I've been going to college since then.
Oh, it's great.
And it's yeah, and since then, I've got my own apartment. Everything's great. I've got I've got my own little shitty cat, who's a little pain. Yeah, like it's screwed up. Like people can turn around their lives. That's one of the things that people need to know. Like things can go wrong. It can go really horribly bad, and you can turn it around. I've been through some of the worst things. Like I left out some parts where God, some gangs almost I tried to fucking rip them off for drugs. They almost beat me to death. I've got like a boot print scar on my fucking back.
Wow.
It's
But
like life.
I love your point though. I love your point about how you turn, you know what, you were able to
It's
turn it around.
if you want it, life will. You have to put the work in. That's the thing that most people don't like.
Yeah.
It's just like shit can go wrong, but you can turn it all around.
Yeah. And that's, you know what, that's kind of a perfect place for us to stop off. Mike, I really appreciate you, and I really want to appreciate you for coming on and talking with me about this stuff, because I can imagine
Exactly.
it's, you know what, it's got to be
It's yeah.
challenging to go there, to go into this place and open up to me. You don't know me, to open up to me and to all the people listening. And I really appreciate you not only going there, but also the fact that you were able to, you know, turn it around, and you're working on it. And I think that's amazing. So I just want to give you a lot of props for that.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I want to thank you for hosting me. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean this is kind of like therapy to me.
Yeah. Well, that's, again, like, I feel like we should all support each other. I mean, I haven't walked a mile in your shoes, but you know,
Everyone
want to
has
chat.
their own voyage.
Yeah, but you know what? It's important that we hear each other, because that's the thing that's missing. And I think sometimes that's the stigma that's even attached to therapy, where we do this stuff behind closed doors. You know, soldiers are expected to handle their PTSD in silence and in shame and hidden from the public eye. And I think it should be the opposite. I think we should be talking about this stuff openly. I think if other people understood some of these stories and heard, you know, the specifics, I appreciate that you painted us the picture of what your day to day was
Yeah,
like.
actually, if you want to see God, it's an old documentary. If you go search, it's a PBS documentary. It's called Frontline: The Insurgents,
Hmm.
which is probably one of the most real like coverage of Iraq that was going on at the time.
Oh.
I hate to say it, it's screwed up because it's called The Insurgent. It covers the Iraqis fighting back against us, but it's actually a really well done piece.
I'll have to find it. And, I would love if you would send me the link to that because I want to put all this stuff out. I
Yeah,
really want to work. I mean, this is kind of my new project that I want to put the porn charity on because I think there's so much to be done. And there's so many people doing things, like there really are. But what I appreciate, see, I have tons of soldiers hit me up all the time too because soldiers is like porn. So,
of course.
right? So it's like, and I'm going, well, why wouldn't we just use
Right,
porn then
we're
to help?
alone. We're alone and away from home.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah, you know
Yeah,
what?
like
Young guys too, I mean, if you're dealing with dudes, it's like you guys are just normal guys who happen to be wearing uniforms right now.
yeah. My buddy. I know someone mentioned Wounded Warriors to you, which is a great charity.
Okay.
Um, my friend used to work from. I don't know. I heard a rumor he might be in detox now. He was working for him for a while, but yeah, it's definitely one of the better charities out there that probably won't turn you down.
Cool.
Um, God, VOC is just Rochester located. There's a few. There's like I said in a tweet to you. Like if someone won't take porn money, they're probably not looking out for vets,
Yeah. Yeah. It's just we've run into it before. And this is why I really
which
want
is stupid.
Oh, yeah, it's stupid. There's a lot of reasons for it, but this is why, and I mean, different organizations have their different religious and moralistic beliefs, and that's fine. I just want to find something that's a good fit. I think that there's a lot of opportunity to do some good with this, and it pains me every time I'm driving by these guys these days, and I just think that we can do better as a society. So, well, with
Yeah.
that said, I want to,
Well, yeah. It's been great talking to you, Mercedes.
thank you so much for coming on. We can do this again anytime. I would
All
love to
right.
hear more of your stories, all right?
All right.
And
Definitely.
thank you everyone for listening. All right, talk to you guys
All
soon.
right.
Bye.
Later. Bye.